He's literally watching what God does. It's a good way to learn about God, by the way, my friend, is watch and see what He does. And watch what He does in the life of a believer. Brother Tony was sharing with me a testimony about how much greater it is to have a testimony of this is what God did in my life than to spend multitudes of words arguing and debating with individuals. It's not an excuse for not sharing the gospel. We're not talking this evening about exclusive lifestyle evangelism. But friend, arguers and debaters consistently do not live up to what they argue and debate. You show individuals that God saved me, He changed my life, His power is upon me, and this is what's happened as a result of what God has done in my life, friend, and you'll be able to see souls come to Christ because that's real. And it's not simply knowledge and wisdom. And what Simon had before Christ was a lot of knowledge and a lot of religion. And he had people that believed that he had God's power in his life. And friend, I have to say to you, all Simon had before Christ was a bunch of lies. And now he's observing God's power and he's amazed by it. He's amazed at the legitimacy of God's power. He knows about tricks. He knows about bewitching, and the idea of bewitching doesn't necessarily even carry with it a guarantee that it had to do with occult power. It simply had to do with sleight of hand. This guy was a trickster, and he would do things to trick people into believing that he had God's power. But the thing about a trickster is, one, they can usually identify another, can't they? A person always saying, oh, he's a liar. You be careful. You figure out how they know that everyone's a liar. It'll be because of deceit in their own heart. Sometimes it could be because of discernment. But a person who's always screaming and calling liar is usually a liar. A person who's always screaming and calling thief is usually a thief. And here is Simon, who has been a trickster, and he's amazed at God's power because it's legitimate. He would have known. He would have known if Philip had come up with some wisdom or some ways of doing things like healing and some tricks to get people to believe. Simon was a trickster, and he would have recognized one of his own kind.